Okay, injury report time, and now is when we really know whether you're kind of in or out, right? At this part of the week, so this is a good chance to look at it and see where we're at. And the Lions generally doing okay with injuries. Just the running back room is really where we're concerned and want to see what's going on. So we'll take a look at that and see if Jahmyr Gibbs is ready to do this. What a challenge it would be for Jahmyr Gibbs, but at the same time, it's like, let's go. We drafted you 12th overall, and we need you. So here's what we got. Craig Reynolds is another one that's kind of like, oh, shoot, are you playing or what's going on here? So let's take a look at it. No practice on Thursday. Two notable pieces there, obviously Montgomery and then Jonah Jackson. And why this one's kind of a little bit of surprise is because Jonah Jackson finished out the game with this ankle injury a couple weeks ago, and yet it still kept him out a couple weeks. So that's what's always I've learned this year is like, even if guys finish games, you just assume they're healthy if they like finish the game, unless they get knocked out. They are just, these dudes are tough, man. They're tough. They're taped up. They're rolling, and then problems can happen. So that's a big loss for us again this week. So David Montgomery, Jonah Jackson, but Vitae should be back. So let's take a look at that. Limited practice. Teddy Bridgewater. Why, Teddy? Does your knee hurt? We'll get back to that. Jahmyr Gibbs was listed as limited, but has been upgraded since to probable. And like, let's go. We're just taking it easy with him because we're going to need him. Dan Campbell went on to say here where it says he's expected to play in both these articles from Pride of Detroit. Shout out to them for putting this together. Dan Campbell said he's going to need to take the load of it. We're just going to have to see where he's at. I'd like to say we're going to be careful with it, but the reality is we need him. So he's just saying, I don't know. We need him. So he's going to have to play. And if he pulls his hamstring, maybe that's not good, but we just got to play him. That's just all there is to it. So we're going to be as smart as we can be, but he's got to go. He's ready. So this tells me a couple things. Craig Reynolds is not as healthy as like we'd like, but also like, let's go. He's got to go. He's been out a couple weeks. We need him. So David Montgomery's out, of course. Then Zonovan Knight gets injured. Then Craig Reynolds gets banged up. Then obviously, then we got another guy that we brought up. So it's like, okay, let's do this. So there's a few things that I think he does well, but ultimately we're going to keep with what we do well and what our O-line does well and our tight ends, because we don't just think it's just some, hey, you just got to get him in on the perimeter. He's not an inside runner. We don't believe that. So we're going to do keeping the identity of what we do to our core and what we do with our run game. So we really won't change. So he's just going to have to really be a smart back against the Ravens. And what I mean by smart is like hang on to the football, basically. Hang on to the football, get positive yards, hit it when you can hit it, but like we just need bodies right back there for right now. So let's take a look here at some of the other injuries. Sam Laporta should play. James Mitchell's back. Josh Pascal. Okay. And Brian Branch is supposed to play. So that puts us at Craig Reynolds, Laporta, Brian Branch. A lot of good positive things there. Jahmyr Gibbs as well. So the only a downgrade to the injury report from this week was Bridgewater. Not a big deal, right? Because if Goff goes out, we're screwed anyway. So whoever backs him up doesn't really matter. But love it. Branch was another key player who was able to get back on the field Thursday after missing the last 2 games. He's already told the media he expects to play, and he's going to be huge against the Ravens. Absolutely. And we'll get to some of the Ravens injuries here in just a second. Full practice, Frank Ragnow. He's got the toe. Keep that going, man. That's been awesome that he's been able to just kind of rest that and stay good. And he's a star player for us. And in the Ravens injury report, nothing really to report on. Really, I mean, they've got a couple corners. They've got some secondary guys that have been out a little bit, but for the most part, they're generally healthy and ready to go. So, hey, we know that this season is a war of attrition. Guys are going down left and right. So, can you battle through that? But the injury report looks good. At the end of the day, it's Jahmyr Gibbs that we're going to count on this week and see if he can come through. And it's amazing to see the guys that have stepped up so far. We know that Reynolds is not like our star stud running back. Like, he is a great backup, change of pace, come in, steady Eddie. But boy, it'd be nice if Jahmyr Gibbs could come in and really fill the role of Montgomery. We know he's not as like good as Montgomery. Montgomery's a veteran dude that's been doing this. And Gibbs is still trying to figure it out. But Gibbs has got a lot of that Jahmyr Gibbs has a lot of that Jameson Williams in him, where it's like, oh boy, he's got something there. He just has not had a chance really to break out. He's been out the last 2 weeks. So look for that. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. This is a huge game. Can't wait to see it play out. And the injury report looks as good as it could this time of year, a couple more weeks before our bye, and then we hit the stretch run of the season. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see all of you on the next one.